This is the English Murli of the 13th of February 2026. Essence. Sweet children, everything of yours here is incognito, and this is why you mustn't have any external show. Maintain the intoxication of your new kingdom. Question. What effort do you children make to establish your elevated religion and divine actions, Dharma and Karma? Answer. You are now making effort to renounce the 5 vices, because these vices have corrupted everyone. You know that at this time all have become degraded and moved away from their divine religion and actions. The Father gives you Srimat and establishes your elevated religion and divine actions. You conquer the vices by following Srimat and having remembrance of the Father. Each of you gives yourself a tilak of sovereignty through this study. Song. Having found you, we have found the whole world. The earth and sky all belong to us. Om Shanti. You sweetest spiritual children heard this song. Only you spiritual children say Baba. You children know that He is the unlimited Father, the one who gives you unlimited happiness. That is, He is the Father of all. All of the unlimited children, the souls, continue to remember Him. They remember Him in one way or another. However, they don't know that they can receive the sovereignty of the world from that Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. You know that the sovereignty of the golden-aged world that the Father gives you is constant, unshakable, and immovable. That sovereignty of ours lasts for 21 births. There is our kingdom over the whole world, and no one can snatch it away from us. No one can loot it. Our kingdom is unshakable, because there is only one religion there. There is no duality there. That is an undivided kingdom. When you children hear this song, you should feel intoxicated about your kingdom. Have such songs in your home. Everything of yours is incognito, whereas important people have a lot of external show. You don't have any external show. You can see that the one whom Baba enters is also very ordinary. You children understand that all human beings here perform unrighteous and dirty actions, and that this is why they are said to be senseless. Their intellects are completely locked. You were so sensible. You were the masters of the world. Maya has now made everyone so senseless that they are no longer of any use. People do a lot of penance and hold sacrificial fires, etc., to find the Father, but they don't attain anything. They simply continue to stumble along in that way. Day by day they become increasingly unfortunate. The more Tamo Pratam human beings become, the more misfortune there is. Rishis and Munis who are remembered used to remain pure. They would say, neti, neti, neither this nor that. Now that they have become Tamo Pratam, they say, I am Shiva, and the same applies to you. Shivoham Tattvam, or that he is omnipresent and in everyone. Those people simply say Supreme Soul. They never say Supreme Father. To call the Supreme Father omnipresent is wrong. This is why they say Ishwar or Supreme Soul. The word Father never enters their intellects. Even when some people do say it, that is just for the sake of it. If they truly believed him to be the Supreme Father, their intellects would be sparkling. The Father gives you the inheritance of heaven. He is Heavenly God the Father. So, why are we still in hell? How can we attain liberation and liberation in life? This doesn't enter anyone's intellects. Souls have become impure. At first, souls are sato-pratam and sensible. Then souls go through the stages of sato, rajo and tamo and become senseless. You have now become sensible. Baba has now reminded you that when there is the new world of Bharat, it is your kingdom. There is just one direction, one language, one religion, and the kingdom of one emperor and empress. Then, in the Copper Age, the path of sin begins, and everything then depends on each one's karma. You shed a body and take another, according to your karma. The Father says, I am now teaching you such actions that you attain sovereignty for 21 births. Although you have limited fathers there, you don't have the knowledge there that you have received the inheritance of the kingdom from the unlimited Father. Then in the Copper Age, the kingdom of Ravan begins, and relationships become vicious. The birth you receive is according to your karma. In Bharat, there are worthy of worship kings, and also kings who perform worship. In the Golden and Silver Ages, all are worthy of worship. There is no worshipping or devotion there. When the path of devotion begins in the Copper Age, the king, queen, and all the subjects become worshippers and devotees. The greatest of all kings, who belongs to the Sun dynasty and is worthy of worship, then becomes a worshipper. The reward for your becoming viceless now lasts for 21 births. Then the path of devotion begins. They build temples to the deities and worship them. This only happens in Bharat. The story of 84 births that the Father tells is also only for the people of Bharat. Those of other religions come later. Then, as the population grows, there are many of them. The features of the variety of religions are different in every respect. Their customs and systems are different too. All the paraphernalia is also needed for the path of devotion. Just as the seed is tiny, and the tree that emerges from it is huge. Just as the leaves, etc. of a tree cannot be counted, in the same way, there is so much expansion in devotion. They continue to produce so many scriptures. The Father now says to you children, all the paraphernalia of the path of devotion has to end. Now remember me, the Father. There is a lot of influence of devotion. It is so beautiful, and there is so much dancing, external show, singing and expense, etc. The Father says, now remember me and your inheritance. Remember your original eternal deity religion. You have been performing many different types of devotion for birth after birth. Sannyasis consider the home of souls, the element of light, to be God. They remember the Brahm element. In fact, when sannyasis are satopratam, they go and live in the jungles in peace. It isn't that they are going to merge into the Brahm element. They believe that by shedding their bodies in remembrance of the Brahm element, they will merge into that element. The Father says, no one can merge into the Brahm element. Souls are imperishable. How can the soul merge into anything? They beat their heads so much on the path of devotion. But then some say that God will definitely come in one form or another. Now who is right? They say that they will have yoga with the Brahm element and merge into it. Those on the path of the household religion say that God will definitely come in one form or another to purify the impure. However, it isn't that he will teach you from up above by inspiring you. Would a teacher sit at home and inspire everyone? There is no such thing as inspiration. Nothing happens through inspiration. Although it is said that destruction takes place through the inspiration of Shankar, it is in fact fixed in the drama. They have to manufacture those missiles, etc. That is just that praise for the sake of it. None of them knows the praise of their ancestors. They even call the founders of religion their gurus. However, they simply establish religions. A guru is one who grants salvation. Founders of religions come to establish their religions, and then their dynasties, that is followers, come after them. They don't grant salvation to anyone. Therefore, why should they be called gurus? There is only the one guru, who is also called the bestower of salvation for all. Only God the Father comes and grants salvation to everyone. He grants liberation and liberation in life. No one can stop remembering him. No matter how much a wife loves her husband, she still calls out, O God, O Ishwar, because only he is the bestower of salvation for all. The Father sits here and explains that all of that is part of creation, and that he is the Creator, the Father. Only the one Father gives happiness to everyone. A brother doesn't give an inheritance to a brother. An inheritance is always received from a father. I give all of you unlimited children your unlimited inheritance. This is why everyone remembers me. O Supreme Father, forgive me, have mercy on me. They don't understand anything. On the path of devotion, they praise him in so many different ways. He also plays his part according to the drama. The Father says, I don't come when they call me. This drama is predestined. The part of my coming is fixed in the drama. I enable the establishment of the one religion and the destruction of the innumerable religions. That is, the establishment of the Golden Age and the destruction of the Iron Age. I come by myself at my own time. The part of the path of devotion is also in the drama. It is because the part of the path of devotion has now come to an end that I have now come. Children say, I now understand that I have met you once again after 5,000 years. Baba, you entered the body of Brahma in the previous cycle too. You only receive this knowledge at this time. You don't receive it again. This is knowledge, and that is devotion. The ascending stage is the reward of this knowledge. It is said that you can receive liberation in life in a second. Janak received liberation in life in a second. Was it just one Janak who attained liberation in life? Liberation in life means a life liberated from this kingdom of Ravan. The Father knows that all the children have now become degraded. They are now to receive salvation. From degradation, they receive a high status of liberation and liberation in life. First, you will go into liberation, and then into liberation in life. From that land of peace, you will go to the land of happiness. The Father has explained the secrets of the whole cycle. Other religions come after you, and the human world population also continues to grow. The Father says, at this time, the human world tree has become Tamopradan and reached the state of total decay. The whole foundation of the original eternal deity tree has decayed. All the other religions still exist. Not a single person in Bharat considers himself to belong to the original eternal deity religion. They belong to the deity religion, but at this time they don't believe that they belong to the deity religion, because deities are pure. They do not consider themselves to be pure. How can we impure beings call ourselves deities? The system of calling themselves Hindus is a system created according to the drama plan. Even in the population census, they put us down as belonging to the Hindu religion. Even if they are Gujaratis, they will be entered as Hindu Gujaratis. At least ask them where the Hindu religion came from. No one knows. They simply say that their religion was established by Sri Krishna. When? In the Copper Age. It was in the Copper Age that they forgot their religion and started to call themselves Hindus. This is why it is said that their divine religion and actions became degraded. There, everyone performs good actions. Here, everyone performs dirty actions. And that is why it is said, the divine deity religion and actions became degraded. That elevated religion and those divine actions are now being established once again. That is why you are told to continue to renounce these 5 vices. These vices have existed for half a cycle. You now have to renounce them for 1 birth. Effort is needed for that. You cannot receive the sovereignty of the world without making some effort. Only when you remember the Father will you give yourself a tilak of sovereignty. That is, only then will you become worthy of a kingdom. The more you stay in remembrance and follow Srimat, so you will accordingly become the kings of kings. The teacher has come to teach you. This is a school to change from a human being into a deity. He tells you the story about changing from an ordinary human into Narayan. This story is very well known. It is also called the story of immortality, the story of the true Narayan, and the story of the 3rd eye. The Father explains the meaning of all 3 to you. There are many stories on the path of devotion. So look how good this song is. Baba is making us into the masters of the whole world in such a way that no one can snatch that status of being the masters away from us. Acha. To you, sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bapdada. The spiritual Father says Namaste to you, spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual Father. Essence Pradhana 1. Be constantly aware that you are instruments to establish 1 direction, 1 kingdom, and 1 religion. Therefore, you have to become united and follow 1 direction. 2. In order to give yourself a tilak of sovereignty, make effort to renounce the vices. Pay full attention to this study. Blessing. May you become an embodiment of success by remaining stable in your karmatit stage as you handle all the service taking place everywhere. As you progress, in order to handle all the expansion of service taking place everywhere, you will have to adopt various facilities, because letters, telegrams and telephones will not work at that time. At such a time, you will need a wireless set. For that, 1 minute be a karma yogi. The next minute, practice stabilizing in your karmatit stage. Then, with the success of your thoughts, you will be able to be cooperative everywhere. Slogan. God's sustenance of love is shown in your easy yogi life. Avyat signal. With the speciality of unity and faith, become full of success. Each one especially has to pay attention to 2 things. 1. Constantly have unity in harmonizing your sanskars. 2. To have faith in one another and to remain constantly content and make others content. When you constantly pay attention to both of these things, the Father will then be seen as he is, and revelation will take place. Om Shanti.